only moment where experience happens. Now is the only moment where I can collect new moments for my memories. Hi and welcome to Lead Well. Hey, to another solo episode of Lead Well. Today, I want to talk about a topic that is really growing more and more important, and I'm more and more realizing how much of an impact this has on our lives, and this is presence. So, what do I mean by that? To me, presence, or getting present, it's not really something I want to work towards. It's more like a condition, more like a state that I want to be in. Being where I am and feeling in the right place at the right time. And I shared with you before that when I had my burnout episode, I often felt I was not in the right place at the right time. And that's probably why it's so important for me now to have that ability to feel that presence whenever I want and whenever I need it. And so I want to share with you what it is to me, why I think it's so important, and then also how to get there. And of course, I don't want to have too long episodes. That's why I'm splitting these up. And let's start today about why I think it's so important. And, well, how can I find out that I'm not present? I don't know about you, but sometimes it happens. I'm sitting in my car, I'm driving, I'm fully awake, I'm not sleepy, I'm not on my phone, just driving there completely in my thoughts. And then suddenly I realize I missed the exit. Nothing happened. I was driving along and still something was missing. My attention to getting out where I needed to. And I think this parallel, this metaphor is really interesting because I was moving forward and I was still moving forward, but not in the right direction because I missed the turn. I missed the exit. So this is where I would want to be right there at the right time to be aware when I need to make that turn. So to me, presence is really not a nice to have or this kind of woo-woo thing that you have to meditate for hours or days to get there. To me, it's really a basic condition to live my life, because when I think about it, there is only the current moment that I can impact, that I can truly live as an active verb. And many people that have this issue of not really getting where they want is not that they didn't know that this was the right exit, metaphorically speaking, but they struggle because they are not fully present at the moment it mattered. And so life happens and it's not fully absorbed, it's not fully experienced. So when I talk about being present, when I talk about presence, I am not talking about this meditation, this true meditative state where I can get into, where I can slower my thoughts, slower my thinking, switch off my thoughts almost. But this making sure that I am very aware of where I am, who I am, and at what time I am in this place. For a long time, as I told you, I have been living somewhere else. I have been living in my past. I have been living in the future. And when I was at work, I thought I would need to be with my horse. When I was with my horse, I thought I would need to be with my husband. And even when I was walking in nature, when so many people tell me, well, Christine, go out in nature. This is where you can find calm and inner peace. even when I was there, I could never enjoy really the environment because I did not even see it. And how many times I walk along, and when I'm out in nature now, I see people just staring at their cell phones when they do. So I know they are not in the moment. They are not appreciating what's around them. And so physically, they are there. And physically, in the past, I was there because my body is there. But I was not there mentally. And I was not there with my emotions. I really was not present with my being. And the other thing that's important for me to distinguish is that this being aware, being present, to me, it's not about self-improvement. It's not about fixing myself. It's not a goal that I'm working towards. It's more something that I let happen. Because the more I want it, the more I try to get there, the least I get there. So it's really living the moment that you're in and not trying to escape it by looking at digital devices, by thinking about tomorrow or yesterday, or going through any issues or going through any problems. And it's also not trying to improve it, just being there, just experiencing what is. Because when I don't, what am I losing when I don't? And there is a revelation that I had over the last few weeks. Because there is one resource that is really limited for everyone. There is not a single person on earth, there is not a single being on earth that has more of that resource than anyone else, and that is time. We all have 24 hours in a day. Now, I can decide how I want to spend that time. And if I am not present, I'm literally not using the time I got because I missed these minutes, these moments. So, for example, when I'm sitting at my desk, staring at my laptop, but thinking about something I need to do at home, I'm not there. I miss the moment. I miss this period of time that I have now where I can make a change, where I can make a difference, where I can impact things by my immediate actions. And so if I'm not present, I'm not really being productive. I'm not really using my time. I can be really busy. I can be in my thoughts. I can do things, but thinking about something else. I can even be efficient. I can be really quick. But still, at least that's my view, I miss large parts of my life. Because now is the only moment where experience happens. Now is the only moment where I can collect new moments for my memories. Because the past is gone. That's a memory. And the future is not yet there. It's an anticipation. It's something I can think about, but I cannot impact immediately. I can impact it if I am focusing on the current moment and making the things now that I know matter. And yes, of course, I make things and I focus on things that will have an impact on the future, but really the presence determines whether my life feels like a lived experience or whether it feels more shallow. So when you think about situations where you feel you're not present, what is it that you can come up with? Sometimes we are physically somewhere, but mentally elsewhere. Clear sign, I'm not present because my body is always present. That's the one thing I can count on. When I'm doing something but thinking about 10 other things, I'm not present. I'm not really focusing on what I'm doing. And it starts with brushing your teeth. It starts with having a sip of water. When I'm moving through my day on autopilot, I'm not really fully leveraging, savoring the time I have. When I drive my car and I miss the exit, that's when I am not there, when I'm absent, when I'm not present, when I'm mentally absent. This is normal. This happens because our mind is busy and our mind is doing whatever it can to keep us safe and to help us survive. And also our environment, as we seen 2 weeks ago, it pulls us away. There are so many things that try to get our attention, especially nowadays with social media. It's designed to get us hooked. So it's normal, but it's not really beneficial. On the contrary, I would even say it's harmful. Now, what I invite you to do over the next week is notice the moments where you feel fully present and the moments where, in hindsight, probably, you can say, oh yeah, that was a moment where I was not in the here and now, or where I was not in the moment. Because first of all, I need to be aware. Where am I? You could even say, okay, in 1 hour, 25%, I was pretty present. 75%, probably not. How would I want to shift that? So please take your time this week and maybe 2-3 times a day, think back, think about the moment. Where am I? My body is always in the present. Where are my thoughts? Where is my mind going? Is it gone in the past? Is it gone to the future? Or is it gone to a different place because that's where my kids are, my husband is, where my clients are? And I'm really curious to hear that from you. And then over the next 3 weeks, let's look into more aspects of how can I get present? What does it mean? And what does it mean if I don't? As we've seen already today a little bit. So presence, getting present. When I was still in my business suit, traveling the world, I always thought this getting in the here and now, getting present is wasting my time because I needed to make plans. I needed to think about things. But it's really the opposite. Because presence, being in the moment, is the only place, as we've heard, that we're already in. And if we're not here, then our life continues, but we're really not experiencing it. We're only partially living it. So in the next episode, let's talk even more about what is presence actually, and why does it start in our body? Looking forward to next week. See you. Have a wonderful week and be present as often as possible. Bye for now.
This was Lead Well. Now, what is the one thing that you're taking away from this episode? Please share in the comments below and do share the podcast with your friends and family, but only if you like it.